Hey guys, so in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the importance of not chasing a trend when it comes to choosing your niche, whether you want to be on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or all of the above. Sometimes we can fall into the trap of chasing a trend because we want everything to happen so fast, right? We live in a microwavable society and you want results as quickly as possible and you're willing to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you see it's working for other people. So you're like, you know what, since it's working for them, I'm going to go ahead and do this too, even if it's not really something that you enjoy doing. And I am here to tell you, do not fall into that trap. I've been there, I've done that, and I can tell you firsthand that it's just the quickest way to feel burnt out. And when you feel burnt out, then you're not going to get anything done, and then you're going to not really make the money that you want to make because you're not even producing at the pace in which you should be producing. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this video. So first of all, if you are new to the channel, if you're new, you've never seen me before, my name is Jasmine and I am now an online coach. I have been a full-time content creator for 5 years. I started during COVID and I love this lifestyle for me. But I'm not gonna lie, I made the choice years ago to chase trends. When I first started my content creation journey, I started on OnlyFans, and during that time, everybody was making so much money online. I hated my 9 to 5. I wanted to quit, and I was like, shoot, let me go ahead and get an OnlyFans so I can quit and make all this money too. And don't get me wrong, I made a lot of money, okay, more money than I could ever imagine possible. However, that type of content was not something that was true to my spirit. It was just something that I did because I seen other people doing it. They were making a lot of money. It was very trendy during COVID, right? And I started to feel burnt out. I became less and less, what's the word I'm looking for? Less and less driven to create content, to promote, because honestly, it just wasn't something that I truly enjoyed. I just loved the money aspect of it. And I honestly started to feel lost because I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm making this money, I have this freedom, quote unquote, but I still feel empty. Like I feel like I don't have purpose, right? And if you've experienced that, then you know exactly what I feel, what I'm saying, you know how that feels. But if you haven't, after a while, it doesn't really matter how much money you make if you don't enjoy what you're doing. And I didn't always think that was true. I thought as long as the dollar amount was right, then it didn't matter what you were doing. But honestly, no. I can tell you firsthand, the money is nice and all, but every single day you just kind of feel like, so what's next? Like, what is there to do now, And so I decided to pivot. And the reason why I pivoted into fitness was because I decided to lose weight. So I was 340 pounds at my heaviest. I'm 6'3", so I'm a tall girl. But I decided, you know what, I want to live a healthier lifestyle. I'm tired of being overweight like this. I don't like the way I look in the mirror. So let me go ahead and do something about it. And so I went on my weight loss journey and I started to document that. I started to record myself in the gym. I started to talk about the foods I was eating. And I started sharing my journey with the followers that I had built up through my OnlyFans content. And in the midst of me showing my weight loss journey and losing over 100 pounds, I found out that I really like motivating and inspiring people. That's something that's true to my spirit. It was fun. I was getting the results that I wanted in my own personal life. And I started to see other people commenting and telling them how much I was motivating them to lose weight. And I went viral multiple times on Instagram and on YouTube. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do this type of content. I'm in the gym. I love weightlifting. I'm finding myself in this process. And I think this is the realm that I want to go in. However, one thing that I noticed when it came to creating weight loss and fitness content was I was really doing it more so for me. I wanted to lose weight, and I was going to lose weight whether I recorded it or not. But I also found out, because I explored the idea of becoming an online personal trainer, but I found out in that journey, I'm not really interested in talking to people 24/7 about what kind of foods to eat, how many grams of protein to eat, how many calories to eat. And that's what comes with all of that, okay? If I want to be a personal trainer, if you know anything about weight loss, it's more so what you eat in the kitchen versus what you do in your exercise routines. And I wasn't really interested in doing that. So I was like, you know what? I don't think personal training is the realm for me. I love motivating, I love inspiring, I love, being in this healthy lifestyle, but I don't think I am fully committed to teaching people their macros. Okay, so I was like, personal training is not for me. But what I noticed on my weight loss and fitness journey I spent a lot of time healing myself and working on my mindset. And I became very passionate in mindset and how you think and the things that you say to yourself and looking at the positives of every, situation that has happened in your life and figuring out how can you learn from that. And through mindset shifting, which took place during my weight loss and fitness journey, I fell in love with coaching and teaching people how to become their highest version and creating content in what's true to their spirit, because that's the journey I went on. I went from being an OnlyFans creator to weight loss and fitness, which I still do, but it's more so wrapped around you being your highest version, not necessarily doing fitness because it's trending, but because if you work on what you eat and you work on exercising every day, you feel better about yourself. And when you start to feel better about yourself, you have more confidence to do things that you always wanted to do. And I only found that out through all of the different niches that I went through to get to where I am here. And that's why I think it's so important for you to choose a niche in something that you truly love to do. Now that I've found online coaching and teaching people how to run businesses, monetizing their passions and, being their highest version, monetizing their journey, it doesn't feel like work. I literally work on this business all day long, every single day, and it never feels like work. It's so much fun. And the fact that I enjoy it, I'm able to grow it better. And I have purpose. I finally have purpose. I finally have something that I look forward to doing every single day. I never had that before. Even when I had that toxic 9-to-5 job, this is the first time in my life where I wake up every single day just excited for life, like excited to tackle what's on my list that comes to my business. And I want that for you too. But if you're solely choosing niches just because it's trending and it's not really something that you want to do, I promise you, you will burn out. And the creators that burn out, that's because that's what they did. There are a lot of creators who do makeup tutorials because makeup is trending. Like girls always want to know how to do a better lip or how to do a night look or a day look, right? So that's what they chose. But they don't really want to do makeup all day. That's not really something that they love doing all day long. And when you're trying to run a business, like you really, like this is your bread and butter, like you're trying to grow it to millions, whatever, you're going to be working on it all day. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You might start off part-time because you still have a full-time job, but as the money comes in and it's something you really want to take to the next level, you're going to start putting in full-time hours. If you want full-time results, best believe you got to put in them full-time hours. And if that's not something that you could see yourself doing for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, then that's not something you should be doing at all. Now, I do encourage you to try multiple things. And because I tried so many things, I was able to figure out what worked for me and what didn't. I would have never have gotten to this point on my content creation journey if I didn't try a whole bunch of other things. So you're going to try stuff, explore it, see what you like, see what you don't, and then also notice, well, what kind of content do you tend to gravitate towards, right? If you record 100 videos, whether it's reels, long form content, as you look through the videos, what tend to be the main talking points, right? And once you figure that out, then you slowly start to see what's true to your spirit. Because if you find yourself always talking about this topic, that's because you really enjoy talking about it. That's something that makes you happy, and you should lean into that. Don't look at the views. Do not look at the views. Do not allow people on these apps to dictate what you do for your life. Absolutely not. And I have fallen guilty to that too. I have fallen guilty to making content about certain things and noticing that those give me the views, but that's not really the route that I'm trying to go. A lot of times on this internet, people love toxicity. And so I know for a fact if I make a video about people hating on you, if I make a video about people being narcissists or, that negative, toxic stuff, even though all of that is true, those are the videos that are going to get the most views. But that's not really something that I want to talk about every day. I want to talk about what you're going to do about it, not the problem. I'm talking about the solution, right? People don't really want solutions. But I'm okay with that because I know that I will attract an audience who's looking for solutions. They don't just want to vent and talk about the problems. They want the solution to the problems so they can change their life. So don't allow the views to dictate what type of content you make. That is a trap. Even in my OnlyFans journey, when I started going from OnlyFans to fitness, I noticed when I was starting to push out the fitness content, I wasn't getting as many views as I was getting when I was making videos in swimsuits, right? But I had to realize, okay, I may not be getting the views, but that's not really something that I want to do anymore. So I know that if I just keep sticking through this, eventually I will get the results that I want. And here I am getting the results that I want, making the money that I want, and being the happiest I could possibly be. So I hope this video helps. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Are you struggling with figuring out your niche? If so, join Glow Up Academy, because this is the space where we transform who you are. We're going to work together and figure out what things you do love, what things do you not love, and we'll figure out together. When you join Glow Up Academy, you are never by yourself. I'm only one message away, and you are going to glow up your life. The link is down below in my description, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.